Welcome to another Zoom. We are coming to you today. In fact, Bruce Brightman is in Portland, Oregon, right, Bruce?
Yeah, yep.
And Sharron is next to me because this is actually her show. She is a fan of your gummies.
Is that what we're talking about today?
That's right. That's what we're talking about. And you've got to say, she has a speech that she was giving me the other day. And I said, boy, I wish I had the camera here right now. But she has discovered that your gummies are so superior to others that she has bought.
Well, you're always telling them, so I don't have to say anything. You're right. No, we were talking. A lot of people don't know what gummies are. I don't think some people don't even take them or whatever. But I think because of you, I really discovered how good they can be because, I've tried other ones from the stores and they're hard. They're hard to, I just throw them out because I can't eat them. But yours are always so soft and so great tasting. And I didn't realize that you made so many different products in gummy.
Yeah, we think we've mastered it. Some nutrients, you really have to master the flavoring like ashwagandha and things like that. But we think we have it mastered. We've done it now for several years. And the gummy, I think the name of this show is the Gummy Revolution, which it really is. It's becoming a huge deal in the vitamin industry. If you don't have gummies that taste good, you're in trouble.
So who discovered that you can take vitamins this way? I mean, has it been around for a while?
Yeah, it hadn't been around that long. I mean, when they first started coming out, of course, they were made for kids. So they were basically sugar pills. Now, with the evolution of the vitamin industry, now they are actually good tasting vitamins that have a punch to them, the equivalency of a tablet or a capsule. And that's kind of the key, is getting the gummy to be actually nutritious. And all companies are getting much better at it. We just feel like ours are next level. They taste amazing. We've never had to worry about taste ever.
As soon as your gummies arrive, seriously, and she starts taking them, she'll say right off the bat, you have no idea how much better these are than any others that you buy. So it's got to be a dramatic taste difference.
Now this is vitamin C, and it's very orangey. I mean, it tastes just like eating an orange.
That's great. Yeah, that was the first one that you tried, Sharron, from a show a long time ago.
That's what hooked her. In fact, today's broadcast, this is what Bruce did. All online orders use the coupon code Sharron, Sharr, 2 R's. That's the way she spells her name. Sharron 35, and they'll get a 35% discount.
Yeah, 35% off on all gummies. We just want people to try them. And what we find is when people try a gummy, the propensity to continue to take them is really, really strong because they taste good. So in the morning, they'll pop it because they know it tastes really good. Yeah. It's almost like you're cheating, right? You satisfy a little of the sweetness that you want, and you're getting something that's really good. And that's, a double win.
A lot of people think there's a lot of sugar in them but there aren't. There isn't that much sugar, is there?
No, there really isn't. And, a couple of things that you want to keep in mind when you're looking for gummies is calorie count, sugar count, and make sure they're not gelatin based, which is another thing. And I think we'll talk about it in the show here, but yeah.
Well, bring that up right now. What does that mean?
So gelatin based means it's an animal product. And we just don't feel that's right with a gummy. So we use a pectin base, a glucose type base where it is all natural, not an animal base. And it's easier to do an animal base for the texture and the feel of it, but it's not the right way to do it. So we just like to be all natural. We like to do it as organically as possible.
Now you have a whole gamut of gummies, right? Because that's I've got
yeah,
them
we
sitting
do.
next to me. I got this. I've got this. I've got this. I mean, so it goes on and on. Another thing I noticed, I take D3. You actually have vitamin D3 in gummies, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I read where that
I have them.
I read where that it's actually even better than what I'm taking normally.
Yeah. So there's been one breakthrough study that was done on a vitamin D3. In fact, so the vitamin D3, they gave you the same volume milligram of IU of a vitamin D3 in a gummy, and they did it versus a tablet. And what they found is people's systems, bodies, bioavailability upload was better with a gummy than it was with a tablet, because they're softer, they're easier to digest, they're better to upload, which is for people 50 and over. That's a kind of a godsend thing right there, when your body can upload things better.
That's why you call them.
Worse.
That's why you call them gummies, because you don't have any teeth and you can gum them.
There you go.
I'm just kidding.
No, I take a multivitamin gummy in the morning.
Say that again.
A multivitamin gummy. I do that one.
Yep.
And I have the vitamin D3.
Yeah. Yep.
And, but those are the really good ones. And the elderberry. You also make an elderberry one.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I read some of the ones that we make, and then we'll kind of move on with the show.
And Rick will have them displayed too. I mean,
good. Okay.
He creates magic.
We make kids and teens, obviously. We have senior gummies. We have probiotics, prenatal gummies, melatonin, fiber, stress support, hair, skin, and nails, omega-3, mushroom, ashwagandha, apple cider vinegar, elderberry, lutein, turmeric, curcumin. I mean, we have a ton. And in fact, we have a little 4-page flyer, I think, that you have that we'll mail to all your people watching, and we'll mail that obviously for free. And we have a catalog that we can mail them to. But we just want people to try them, just because when you taste them and you like it, you're going to take them. I know, Herman, you and I are big time. We're on a schedule. We take our stuff at the exact same time.
7 days a week.
It's methodical for you and I, and we've joked about that for years.
Yeah.
We would love our people, your people, to be on the same regimen. And if that means they have to taste this little sweet thing to get there, we're all for it. That's in fact why we make these.
Yeah.
We make these so people take them because they enjoy them. You know, sometimes vitamins become a chore. Like, I got to pull 3 of them out and make sure I'm eating with them, and blah, 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 all that stuff. This helps alleviate that.
Now you give a little background, because we have a new audience all the time. Believe it or not, they come online. A little background. You're an entrepreneur, and you started this company for what reason?
So, yeah, my father contracted pancreatic cancer in 1990, and we finally lost him in 1992. And that is when I started this company in his honor. For me, it was about helping people not lose loved ones too soon. My dad was 68 when we lost him, and I felt like it was just too soon. And what I was even an entrepreneur back then, and since 1984 is when I started. But I just thought about what I could do to make people live a little longer and healthier. And the vitamin business was put in my lap by the good Lord. I had no visions of being in the vitamin business, but that's what he wanted me to do.
And you started with one, and now you have 800.
Yeah, we're about 830, I think, is the number. 830 different vitamins. And, when I started it, I said I want to give all the money to Campus Crusade for Christ, the Jesus Film, and all those fine organizations. I think now we give to maybe 30 or 40 different organizations along the lines of those. We do food help missions, rescue missions. We fund education for people going to biblical schools and things like that. But we just love giving. And I mean, we feel very fortunate.
Well, that's why you created this branch of your entrepreneurship.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And God provides. That's all I can say. He just does. We have people that reach out to us every day, Herman, that say, we found you. We've been looking for a company and you popped up, and there's a million vitamin companies out there.
Oh, yeah.
So the way people find us is very unusual, and they know they're sent to us by a higher power, the good Lord. And we love it. And we don't shy away from our faith. We send spiritual stuff in every package. It doesn't matter if they order it on Amazon, they're going to hear about God.
Just like that.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
they're
I love
to hear about God in every package that we send out. And then
you put a Jesus film.
Yep. Jesus film. That's a DVD, and it's in, well, now the Jesus film has been made in over 1,800 languages. So it's hard to believe there's even 1,800 languages on the planet, which there are even more. So there's thousands of languages, and that's the goal of that mission that we give to the Jesus Film Project, to turn, no matter how small the tribe is, they want to put it in their native language so they can hear about Jesus. It's a very unique, special group, and we're proud to give to them,
Bye, Bruce.
Hey.
We got the looks leaving.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Bye.
The gummies, I love the idea, because basically this will introduce individuals to vitamins that probably would not normally, I can't take pills, or I can't remember the pill. I can't,
right.
But if they get attached to, it's almost like a candy jar.
Yeah. 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 And Herman, 50% of all humans on the planet do not like taking vitamins because of their throat. They stick. They don't, whatever the case may be, which is basically hundreds of millions of people in the United States and across the globe. This is a real easy fix. They can get nutritionally balanced. They can have a good vitamin or whatever it is that they're looking for in a gummy format, and they'll actually take them.
I'm a fan of this is a gummy multivitamin.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
In other words, that's got about every vitamin probably necessary.
And that's got fruits and veggies in it too. That's a very unique vitamin right there. Yeah.
You talk about some of them use red dye and so forth. The other individuals that have this same product, but they use coloring different.
Yeah, you can color things with, like red, you would use a beet, right? Beets, you've seen beets, everyone's seen beets. They're so bright red that's a food coloring, but it's a natural food coloring. The easy way to do it is use red number 5 or yellow number 3 or whatever it is. That's not the right way to do it, but it is the easy way to do it. And I think a lot of companies are shying away from red colorings and the fake colorings, the food dyes, but not all. And sometimes when costs matter, companies will cut a little bit, and that's just not how we're going to do it.
You have one here you say ultra hair, skin, and nails.
Yep. Yeah. So it's a biotin packed supplement. And we have people that rave over that. If you're starting to your hair thins a little bit, or your nails are becoming a little bit brittle, perfect opportunity for you to get in the nutrients that are needed to help with that process, and not have to swallow a pill in which to do it. And
you hear a lot of advertisements, infomercials on the superfoods, and you have one that's the Superfood Gummies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for people that need a little help they don't like veggies. There's a ton of people out there that don't like veggies. I mean, that's just a great supplement that will help you.
What is the normal quantity one or two
Usually
a day?
1 to 2, depending on how complete something is. I think that one may be 2 per day, but taking 2 gummies is like 2 pieces of candy.
Yeah.
How hard is that? Right.
I know.
I still take tablets and I still take powders and I take liquids. I take our melatonin I take at night for sleep, melatonin gummies. That's the only gummy that I personally take, but I don't have a problem with pills or anything. So not yet anyway.
What is this one? It's got, I think 15 letters, ASHWAGANDHA extract.
Yeah. So that's ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is, most people take it for mood and tranquility. And it's a really unique product. And that one is one that's hard to make taste good. And that actually tastes really good. So if people are taking ashwagandha out there and they hate the flavor of even the tablet, they'll really enjoy that.
You're what I like about your product, Bruce, it is excellent. It's not, like you get, and I get products from other places, and it doesn't have your excellence.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on never cutting cost. It's just, we're not doing it. We work for the good Lord. We have an amazing job. I kind of feel like you have the same job. I mean, really, you're on TV, but you work for God, but you just happen to be on TV.
Yeah.
Me, I work for God. I just happen to be in the vitamin business. And that's, we at Lifesource can't think of a better job, maybe our TV show, but we couldn't think of a better job to do than what we do.
You know how I got acquainted with you? I was flying someplace on the airline, and I'm looking at a magazine, and it had your advertisement in the magazine. And then I noticed your words. While I'm reading, I'm going, this guy is a Christian. I'm thinking this guy is it's like the Spirit lets you know somebody next to you is a born again believer.
Yeah.
It's like it jumped off the page to me that this guy is a Christian. So that's how we connected. Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
And I didn't even know once I checked with you if it would be a marriage. It's kind of like we've been together ever since, but it has been, by the way, I'm taking these. What did you say that was?
Ashwagandha.
I just took one. Fabulous taste.
Yeah. Great. Let me tell you a quick story, Herman, about that ad that you saw years back. I remember when I started this company, the first ad that I did, I didn't mention God. I didn't mention our affiliation, our love for God. I spent about $6,000 on a full page ad in this amazing magazine. And I'm thinking, this is going to launch us nicely and blah, blah, blah. Zero. And I mean zero.
Wow.
Not a phone call, nothing. And this is in the early 90s. I thought about it. I looked at the ad and I'm like, what did I do wrong? And God's like, hey, this isn't about Lifesource. This isn't about you. It's about me. You're my child. It is about me, your father. The next ad I put, the same exact ad I put, we believe in God. We answer to God. This is who we are. Buy from us if you want to. Don't if you don't. And phones are ringing. God says, now you understand why I put you in this position.
Boy,
I choke up thinking about it right now.
There is a testimony.
Yeah. So never will I ever put anything out that doesn't say, we love God. Not happening.
Isn't that? But see, it's interesting that I must have got one of the first ads.
Yeah.
But even there was something the way you worded that it wasn't like you're selling me. It was like you're presenting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a fact. We're in the vitamin business, but really we're not. We work for God. He's using us widgets at Lifesource to get people healthy and to learn about him, because every package you get from us says, hey, smile, Jesus loves you. Or, what a great day God has blessed you with today. Or, hey, we know you're struggling. Look up. Don't look down. Look up when you're struggling.
Amen.
Look up when you're happy. that type of stuff. And we love it. That's what we live for.
Keep talking.
Yeah. So that's just who we've always been. It's who we
I had to come over and grab one of your magazines. I got them right here in my office.
Very good.
But this magazine, I'm telling you, it is one of the best laid out. So the people watching, when they order these, all of the information is on the screen. Rick puts it on there, dresses the whole thing up. I mean,
Yep.
So, but when they order one of these, they need to keep it close by.
Yeah.
Because it is so well done. I mean, I love when I order, I'm telling you, this comes from me personal. When I order, I know within a few days they're going to be there. It's like you order other things and you go, that was so long ago. I think I forgot. That's right. I never got it. This is like salvation. Pray, invite Christ into your heart and life. He comes in. He doesn't say, can you remind me next week? He comes in now.
Yeah.
And really your company is efficient.
Yeah, we strive to get it out the same day that you order it, unless it's, after whoever's picking it up, FedEx or USPS or UPS. If they've already picked up, we can't do anything about that. But normally if you order, we're on it. We have a team that just waits and they're ready for orders. I mean, that's what they do.
Now, I want to talk about this 35% off because today we're honoring Sharron. Next month.
Your beautiful bride.
Can you believe, Bruce, next month, Sharron and I will be married 63 years.
Yeah.
63
I
years.
love it. 63.
So in honor of Sharon's anniversary, because I've been the bad guy, she's been good all 63 years. But he's giving a 35% discount, right?
Yeah, 35%.
For all gummies.
Yeah.
But Sharron loves gummies.
Yeah. Yeah, tell Sharron, make sure Sharron knows the first 63 years are the toughest. It's downhill from here.
She will be glad to get that information, I'm telling you.
Right? That's awesome.
Now, by the way, we need to have a whole army of people praying for your mom. She's 90. What is it?
Now, she'll be 96 in June.
And she's really she's been around a long time, but
yes.
she's really sick, isn't she?
Yeah, she's going through some stuff right now. It doesn't really look good for her. She's 95. She's had an amazing run. And the only solace, and I think I told you this before the show started, is she gets to do what all your viewers want to do. Is she's going to be with Jesus.
Yeah.
She's going to see my dad, so.
See, I'm 83. I'm getting closer to heaven than you are.
Yeah.
What is your age?
I am. I'll be 60 this year.
Oh, I remember when I was 60. I was jogging 20 miles.
Yeah, I still hit the gym every day. I did, So for me, it's just another year. But I can feel that I'm starting to slow down a little bit. But I'm fighting it the whole way, and I still. Get after it every single day. I don't miss a day. I'm 7 days a week.
When you use the funds that God has blessed you with to help all of these other organizations, including us, right. What does that do to you? I mean, that's got to be a high, almost as good as feeling good.
Yeah. I have, this, we've talked about it before. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. By far, this is unbelievable. I mean, it's not even comparable. Me and a buddy started a company called Hollywood Video back in the 80s, and it exploded. And it was so fun, not even in the same hemisphere of giving dollars to Christian missions and the Jesus Film and Campus Crusade for Life and all these things. None of my things I've ever done have compared to this, not one single thing. So it's a true blessing. I feel blessed that I get to work so hard to give money away. That's just who I am. It's how my mom raised me.
That's right. But I was just sitting here thinking, what a high when you write a check that is going to areas that change lives for the kingdom.
It's shocking. I fortunately don't write checks any longer, but I get from my office, they tell me, here's what we've done, ding, ding, ding. And it's monthly, for most people. For you, it's different. But I see the reports, and I look at the reports, and I love it. It's just so good. It's so good.
Now, do you have a company in Portland right there where you are?
I do, yeah. Yeah.
So then you have a home in Florida.
Yeah, one here in Portland, and those are the only two.
Now, Portland has been a war zone for a while.
It has. It's they're running ads on, I think Portland, a little bit of Portland is waking up saying, the ads are saying, is Portland gone forever? And that's kind of one of the big news, Channel 8, ABC, which of course is owned by Disney, is even saying, is Portland too far gone?
Wow.
Because the lawlessness downtown, and I won't even go downtown to my favorite restaurants and eat. I just don't want the confrontation.
Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? Like the guy right over my shoulder here, right there. He said, I could take care of their problem in 15 minutes. And idiots in Portland are so brain dead, they don't get it. Just go in and clean it up.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
can you share? We have about a minute and 30 seconds. How did you get saved?
How did I initially?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So I was, I was raised going to church with my parents, but I really wasn't ready. And I was going to church because my dad made me go to church. Right. So yeah, after when I was in junior high, I went to a group called Young Life, and it just changed my life. It made me look at the Bible a different way. It was just amazing. So that's kind of when it started. And then in college is when it really happened, and it's been that way ever since. So I was in junior high.
But you invited Christ personally.
Into my life. Yes. And I accepted
your parents can be saved. That doesn't make you saved.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's the only way to go through this life. If you don't have Jesus, you're lost. It's just, you can look at it, any news organization, you can see, without Jesus, we're doomed.
Yeah. And people are in fear today because of Russia threatening nuclear, because of what is happening and all of the things. But when you know Christ, when you have him in your heart and life, whatever happens, absent from the body, present with the Lord Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. Bruce, I want to thank you for being here. It's a gummy day. God bless. Bye-bye.
God bless.